Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Modern Warfare video. It's been a long time since I talked about this game, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. I'm sure you're wondering what's been going on with me and what's been going on with the channel, but rest assured, all questions will be answered with today's video. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Will I be playing and posting Modern Warfare to the channel this year? Well, the answer is yes. Originally, I was going to be skipping this year's game. During the beta, I had a less than ideal experience, which honestly is true of pretty much every beta, but as a lot of you guys know, I was one of the first, if not the first, to find that a loot box common supply drop was in the game. Immediately, that soured my taste for the game. I started thinking, oh boy, here we freaking go again, just like every other year in the Call of Duty franchise, because I'm sure you guys know, but ever since 2014, we've had supply drops in every single COD, even Modern Warfare Remastered, and in each one of those games, we had post-launch weapons and game-changing content that would plague every single title. For me personally, and I know this is also true for a lot of you guys as well, as soon as those weapons start getting thrown into supply drops, my overall enjoyment of each individual game immediately just plummets down to pretty much nothing. I go from putting in like 10 or 15 days of playtime between October and December to putting in like 5 days of total playtime between January and when the next game comes out, and it's because I hate that freaking system so much. Time was, way back in the Call of Duty heyday, I would put 30 plus days of playtime into each title because it was enjoyable, and there was nothing holding me back from unlocking everything I wanted to, right? The only thing holding me back was playtime and my own personal skill as a player. Every year I could set out to accomplish what I wanted to do with that game, but in recent years that simply has not been the case, but it looks like that's all going to be changing with Modern Warfare. I am very happy to announce today, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, Modern Warfare will not have loot boxes of any kind whatsoever. Instead, the game is going to have a battle pass system similar to what we have here in Black Ops 4, and every single post-launch weapon will be able to be earned with playtime. On top of this, and I'm only recapping this because some of you may not be fully up to date, Modern Warfare will have crossplay functionality just like we saw during the beta. The game will not have a season pass of any kind. Post-launch weapons will still be coming to the game, however, but every single one that comes to the game will be added for free, and they will also be added to every single platform at the exact same time. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally did it. It finally happened. Everything that we have been fighting for, everything that we've been talking about, I've made hundreds of videos speaking out against the microtransaction and the DLC systems that we've had in the Call of Duty franchise over the years, and most of you are pretty level-headed. Most of you will say, yeah, we agree with that, right? But there's so many other people that say, well, if you don't like it, don't play. Why are you speaking up? All you do is complain. Like, there's this subsect of the community that thinks that any kind of criticism is just complaining about the game, and if you want to complain about the game, you should just stop playing it. Well, this is why we do that, right? Every good thing that's happened to the Call of Duty franchise over the years is because of the community. It's because of the Reddit threads and the Twitter posts and the YouTube videos, and whenever the Call of Duty community, people like Drifter and them, they get to go out there and talk to Activision at these events, every single one of those interactions has helped us get to where we are today, where again, we have no season pass. All post-launch weapons will be added to the game for free and everybody can get them. There's going to be crossplay. There's everything that we've wanted over the years is finally happening here with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now, of course, there is the bad news that the Spec Ops Survival Mode is going to be a one-year exclusive for the PlayStation 4, which means if you play on PC or Xbox, Call of Duty 2020 is going to be out by the time you can play that one particular game mode, but in my opinion, that's a pretty small price to pay for everything else that is changing this year. There will be a lot of post-launch weapons, but they're all going to be earnable. We are going to have DLC maps, but they're going to be free and on all platforms at the exact same time, and on top of that, we're going to have a bunch of seasonal events and new battle passes so that we have that extra layer of progression and new things to work towards, which honestly is one of my favorite things about Black Black Ops 4. I know people love to bash on Black Ops 4 because it's the current game. I have a feeling once Modern Warfare is out, people are going to start talking about how good Black Ops 4 was, because that's a trend I see in the Call of Duty community pretty much every single year. As soon as a new game comes out, suddenly the previous game was like the best freaking thing ever. But going back to Black Ops 4, I loved the feeling that I was constantly working towards something, right? Every second of playtime, every match I played, it was all going towards this little something extra on top of the usual leveling up and unlocking new weapons and prestiging and doing challenges and things like that. With Modern Warfare, there will be two different kinds of battle passes, however, so this is actually potentially controversial, but I'm personally pretty excited about this. There's going to be a normal battle pass, similar to what we have in Black Ops 4, right? And everyone gets access to it, and you can play through it and earn all the content that's going to be there. Part of this battle pass is players are going to be able to earn COD points just by playing the game, and I think that's really important because while it's unconfirmed, I imagine the post-launch weapons are going to be tied to these battle passes, right? If that is true, then once a battle pass is finished and a new season starts, I assume, and again, it's not confirmed, but I assume that those guns that were tied to the battle pass are simply going to be thrown into the in-game store and be purchasable with COD points. Well, if that does turn out to be true, and we can earn COD points through each of the battle passes, players can earn the currency that's needed to purchase the weapons that they may have missed out on, or they can simply just buy them from the store, like we saw with the Ripper and the Maverick back in Call of Duty Ghost. Again, that's not confirmed, but that's one of the ways I can see this playing out, and that is a much better system than pretty much everything else that we've seen in the franchise before. Going back to Black Ops 4, once again, just as an example, and I hate to keep bringing it up, I'm Prestige Master level 400. I have like 20-something days total playtime across all the different game modes. I've done every single battle pass. I've done every single challenge in the multiplayer. Like, I have done all I can do in that game. I'm still missing 4 guns. I am still missing 4 of those weapons because it's all luck-based, right? You can't actually directly earn them. You can't directly purchase them. It's all just freaking luck-based, and it's horrible, right? Well, with Modern Warfare, we're not going to have that, but we will be having something called a Premium Battle Pass. You see a system like this implemented in other games out there, but there's going to be a special Battle Pass in Modern Warfare that you can buy, and from there you can then work your way through the Battle Pass with your playtime to unlock specific content. Now, Activision has said in their blog post that this Premium Battle Pass will only feature cosmetic content, and it will never impact game balance, and for this reason, I'm actually all for the Battle Pass. I'm all for the Premium Battle Pass. I'm all for all of these Battle Passes, right? And I know that some people are going to disagree with that, and feel free to leave your thoughts and feedback down in the comments, but here's how I see it, right? Call of Duty is going to try to make its money somehow. In recent years, as you guys know, they usually do this through these exclusivity deals that screw over half the community. They do it through loot boxes that are an utter insult to the player base. They do it through season passes that split up that player base. And of course, they lock tons of game-changing content behind absurd RNG walls or even paywalls in the in-game store. Well, what they're going to be doing this year is, instead of all that, they're essentially going to be adopting the Fortnite method, which is a system that a lot of people really seem to enjoy. Now, obviously, the immediate argument that's going to pop up is, Nero, Fortnite is free, right? Call of Duty is a $60 game, therefore it's okay to spend money in Fortnite, but it's not okay to spend extra money in a game like Call of Duty, and usually I would agree with you, but that's before they made all of these changes. So let me just lay this out how I personally feel. While yes, Fortnite is free, the amount of content you have access to within the base game without spending any money is virtually nothing, right? I've played Fortnite. I'm freaking awful at Fortnite. I did make that one trolling video where I said I was quitting COD for Fortnite, which was really funny on April Fool's Day. But aside from that, I'm not really into Fortnite. It's not really my thing. But I have played the game, and if you spend no money whatsoever, you virtually have nothing. You have like a default skin and a pickaxe, and maybe you can earn a couple things here or there, but it's really not all that big. Well, here with Modern Warfare, yes, the game is going to be $60, but think about all the base content that is there for your money. Just like with Fortnite, you get to play the game, and you get to play it as much as you want and do whatever you want with it, but you also have a full campaign, a multiplayer, and a Spec Ops mode, and within that multiplayer, you have tons of levels to go through, and prestiges, and weapons to unlock, and attachments, and camos, and calling cards, and emblems, and operators, and of course, all the different challenges to complete. While yes, the game is $60, I get that the amount of content you get for your $60 in the base game is usually in line with what a $60 game is worth, either more or less depending on who you're talking to. For me personally, most Call of Duty games, especially back in the day before microtransactions, they would be worth the $60, right? The amount of content you got was actually pretty freaking fantastic. Well, this year, on top of everything that we have in the base game, there's going to be a bunch of free battle passes and seasonal events that will allow you to earn extra content just by playing the game. Again, you spend your $60, you get everything with the base game, and you're also getting all this post-launch support with free guns and free updates and free maps and free everything, right? There's going to be a bunch of extra things that are added to the game, and if you choose to, you can also purchase more content by buying the premium battle pass. I don't know about you guys, but I feel as though that's a pretty great system. Of course, time is going to tell how it plays out, but on paper, it seems like a pretty good system because you get your value from the base game, you get added value with all the post-launch weapons and maps and events and support and things like that, and if you choose to, you can spend a small amount of extra money to be able to earn even more cosmetic content via the premium battle pass. It may not be the best system in the world, but it's certainly way better than literally anything we've ever seen in the Call of Duty franchise before, and it's also a lot better than most of the other games that I can personally think of. The Battle Pass won't even be in the game at launch either. It's going to be added to the game towards the end of 2019, and currently, if you guys haven't heard, there are tons of leaks and rumors suggesting that in early 2020 they will be adding a full Battle Royale mode to Modern Warfare, and it's going to be completely free to play. Again, those are just leaks and rumors, but the guys that have been leaking all this stuff to us have been nearly spot on accurate. I'd say roughly 90% accurate, and they're all saying the Battle Royale will be coming to the game, so I definitely think this is going to be true, but of course time will tell how it's actually going to play out. And honestly, this all seems a little too good to be true, doesn't it? It seems way too good to be true. Knowing Activision, they probably have a few tricks up their sleeve, and we're going to cross each of those bridges as we get to them, but for right now, the game sounds absolutely incredible from a monetization perspective, and I would love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. Now that we've discussed the big news of the day, let's go ahead and talk about why I was potentially going to skip Modern Warfare this year. If you follow me on Twitter, then you know I was not having fun with the beta whatsoever. I even said I'm not playing the game this year. I literally canceled my pre-order. Like, here's a screenshot of it. I actually canceled my pre-order. I was not going to be playing the game, and I think a big part of that was because I was clouded by these supply drops and all the BS that was going to be coming our way because of what we saw during the beta, but also a lot of that came down to the core gameplay. Modern Warfare is a super campy game. It seemed like nobody would ever move, and if you did, you were actively punished by that. There's no minimap. I could talk all day about the freaking minimap. They need to add a full minimap pack to the game, and the time to kill was also ridiculously quick, and the connection was awful. Some people think that they got melted because of the time to kill, but you ever notice how it seems like you die in an instant, but your opponent seems to die after a couple of seconds? It's because the netcode during the beta was horrible. I'm going to put a link to a Battle Nonsense video down in the description. It turns out that the netcode that was used during the beta was about twice as bad as what we see in Black Ops 4, and oftentimes, especially in Ground War, the netcode was basically what we see in Blackout. You know how in Blackout the connection is not nearly as smooth or as good as what we see in the multiplayer? Well, the whole game was pretty much like Blackout, which was really bad, even though you're playing game modes like 6v6, and if there weren't enough people in there, it'd be like 5v5. It was a really bad situation. The experience I had in the beta was so bad that I was not going to play the game this year, but rather, I was going to focus on much larger video projects about Call of Duty's history. You guys saw the video about the Black Ops 2 pre-alpha multiplayer. If you haven't, definitely check that out. It's really freaking cool. But I've also been working in the background on a number of other larger, almost documentary-style videos about different aspects of Call of Duty's past, and while I still plan to make that content because I'm passionate about it and it's something that I really enjoy doing, I'm also going to be playing and posting Modern Warfare just solely because I am so happy with the microtransaction changes. In my own personal opinion, the game that we saw during the beta needs a lot of work. It was one of the worst FPS experiences I personally feel as though I've ever had, and people think I'm like shoehorned only in the COD. I play tons of games. I play so many different games. If you go to my second channel, you'll see that, but a lot of people don't even know I have a second channel. I actually saw a comment in my previous video saying, I wish I could take 1 month off work. I'm like, dude, I've been making 2 or 3 videos on my second channel every day this month. Like, what are you on about? But yeah, I play a lot of games out there, and a lot of them are FPS. I like shooters, and what I saw during the Modern Warfare beta was not something that I personally really enjoyed. It was really freaking rough, but at the same time, it was a beta. And everyone kept telling me that, like, Nero, it's a beta, you need to just kind of, like, relax on this, and I didn't listen to them, but I probably should have, because going back to the Black Ops 4 beta, I had pretty much the same feelings, right? I had the same like problems with that game. I thought I wasn't going to be playing Black Ops 4. Remember how broken the Black Ops 4 beta was? Like the spawns were freaking terrible, SMGs were wildly overpowered, and you could jump twice as high as you could today. I was posting clips to Twitter and on Reddit and stuff like that of me literally just jumping over a player like I was Michael Jordan. Like he was fully standing, I just ran, I jumped over him. Like the Black Ops 4 beta was really freaking rough, but I gave the full game a chance, right? Which is something I wasn't thinking about doing with Modern Warfare, and lo and behold, Black Ops 4 is, in my opinion, one of the best multiplayer experiences in the Call of Duty franchise. And I know that's a controversial opinion, right? But that's why it's called an opinion. I see people saying on Twitter all the time, like, how could you possibly like Crap Ops 4 but not like the Modern Warfare beta? You must be an idiot or something. But in reality, the people making those comments, I think they're the idiots, right? Because it comes down to personal preference and opinion. I could just as easily turn the question around and say, wow, you really like Boomer Warfare over Black Ops 4? It's so slow and boring. But I don't do that because I'm not an asshat who tries to talk down to people for something that they enjoy that I don't personally enjoy, right? So all in all, guys, I'm going to be giving Modern Warfare another chance. I'm not saying I'm going to be posting the game the entire year. It could turn out to be absolutely freaking terrible. We have no idea, but I'm extremely excited about the microtransaction changes. I think this is a really good step for the Call of Duty franchise going forward, but I'm also excited to experience the full game, right, as compared to a very limited beta with a very bad netcode. We're going to have all the maps, we're going to have all the perks and the guns and the equipment, and from there, we're going to be able to see just how good Modern Warfare really is. And as always, I will be there with you guys every step of the way as updates are being made and changes are being made and new content is coming out. It's going to be an interesting year. I'm not saying it's going to be a great game. I'm not saying it's going to be a terrible game. We really have no idea, because if we look back at the previous games that have come out over the past couple of years, the betas were always a lot different than what the full game would eventually become. Not even just with weapon balance, but overall design philosophy within the games themselves. And I do hope that Infinity Ward plans to change a lot about the game. If you go over to the Modern Warfare subreddit, there's plenty of suggestions there, especially when the beta was actually live, of things they could do to improve the game or make things better. And I think number one, they need to sort out the netcode. That needs to be fixed immediately, because a laggy experience where it's like a shoot first, die first kind of a thing, that's not fun for anybody. And I'm hoping that with all the weapons and the attachments being available and the equipment and things like that and all the perks, that people are going to start moving around a lot more, and they're going to stop trying to camp like it's like the MLG finals every single game, because man, the amount of people I found on their belly in that beta was just freaking absurd. And the mini-map, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, I could talk for another 20 minutes about that freaking mini-map, but we'll see how it goes. We will absolutely see how it goes. But ladies and gentlemen, I will be playing the game. I will be posting it. I look forward to making a lot of content and sharing my experiences with you guys. But for right now, that's all I have for you guys here in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback on all of today's topics down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.